The bulls take the day off as the market drops over 4% on this bloody Wednesday. This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so in yesterday's video, we talked about the need for a pullback and how that pullback looked would guide us on where we were heading next. And boy, did we ever get a pullback as the bears came out swinging from the opening bell and never let up all the way to the close, pushing the market down 4% and what was quite an impressive performance. Now the question is, are we headed straight to 3,700 or do the bulls have a fighting chance? I'll get into that in just one second, but first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP 500 and the Nasdaq. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. Okay, guys, so even with the huge move down today, all right, we had a core long position. And even with this huge move down, you can see on the screen that we made 27% on that trade because we understand Elliott Wave's key levels and where to short and how to hedge our position to make sure that we're profitable. And that's all I really care about, is making money trading and helping you guys do that as well. Many of you in the comments are hell-bent about being right or wrong, and quite frankly, I don't care. I don't care what the market does. I care where the support and resistance levels are so that we can make profitable trades. If you're interested in that approach, stay tuned. I'll tell you how to do that later in the video. Now let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, guys, so here we are on the 5-minute futures chart for the S&P 500. And as you can see, we started up here, got the sell-off, and then at the bell, man, they just took it and rammed it down. And then they're finally starting to see some buying here after hours, just a little bit of a bounce, which is not totally unexpected given the amount of selling we had today. So if they're going to continue to bounce here, we're basically looking at a few different types of bounces. The first one would be a shorter bounce. As I said, this does not look like 5 waves down. It looks more like a 3-wave or a C-wave setup here that needs more waves to complete. And so if that's the case, we would look for a shorter bounce here up towards the 382, which is 39.67 to 39.90. If it bounces up to that point and then comes down and makes another low, that could be considered 4 and 5 of wave 1 to complete wave 1 down. Okay, so that's the first bounce we could be looking for, which would be a shallow bounce. The second bounce would be a bigger bounce, and that would be the assumption that this was all of wave 1 down, and we've bottomed in that wave, and we are bouncing up in wave 2, okay? And if that's the case, that bounce would target these numbers over here, this 39.95 to 40.48 region. And if I'm looking for that bounce, I would expect it to get closer to that 40.48 region, as this was a fairly deep wave 1, so we would expect a bigger wave 2 bounce to fit the structure better. In that case, we would look for that wave 2 bounce again up towards that 39.95 to 40.48 region, and from there, that would set up a wave 3 sell-off down towards 3,700 to 3,750. Okay, so again, the 2 bounces are the shallow bounce up to 39.67 to 39.89. If it holds under that area and then makes a low, that can be considered 4 and 5 to complete wave 1. And then we would look for that bigger wave 2 bounce. Or if they make a bigger bounce directly, okay, we would look for them to target 39.95 up to 40.48. And quite frankly, I would want it closer to 40.48 for a wave 2 with a setup down to sell off back to that 3,700 to 3,750 region below. And then the final scenario is one for the bulls, where if this is not a wave 1 down and it is a C wave, as it looks like it could be. Now, I do want to highlight that I'm very skeptical of the bulls here for a couple reasons. Number one, we broke the 764 on the retrace, and generally that means we're going to test or break this low, usually break it. And number two, this is quite a deep wave 2 for the overall structure and where we're targeting. So if this is going to be a wave 2, okay, the bulls are really going to have to prove it by showing me a strong impulsive move back up and ultimately taking out this 40.48 number and then this high in an impulsive structure. If we see that, then we can start getting on board with a potentially bullish move higher. But again, I am very skeptical about that count, and the bulls really need to prove it. Mostly what I'm looking for is a bounce up into one of those resistance regions that we can short down towards 3,700. All right, guys, so that's what we're looking at on the S&P 500. Over on the Nasdaq, we would be looking for similar types of bounces. The first one being the shallow bounce in a wave 4 up towards that 12,090 area to 12,176. If it holds in that area and then makes a low, and that would be considered a 4 and 5 to complete wave 1, then we would look for a bigger bounce after that. However, if this is the bottom of wave 1 and we're looking for a bigger bounce up, then we would be looking for 12,203 up towards 12,410.25, again eyeing that 12,400 region as a higher bounce to fit the structure better. And if we can get that, then we would count that as wave 2 and look to short down to that 11,500 region to complete the move down. And then for their bullish scenario, again, this would have to be wave 2 down, and then we would have to see a strong impulsive move up that ultimately takes out 12,410 and then this high. If we see that then in an impulsive move, then we can get on board with a bullish move higher. But again, just like on the ES, just like the S&P 500, I am very skeptical of the bulls being able to make a strong move up here in an impulsive fashion. And until they prove that, I will mostly be looking for a bounce to short down towards that 11,500 region. Guys, if you like the information that I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. Okay, there's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link and it will take you over to the website. Once you get over there, check out our membership plans area. We have 2 incredible plans, and they both come with a 7-day free trial because I want you to get in there. I want you to absolutely love it and become part of our trading team before you ever spend a penny. Okay, in our first room, the Invest with Jacob room, you get all of my real-time market updates, all of my buy and sell alerts, as well as all of your Elliott Wave questions answered. We do trade the SPY and the QQQ, and we swing trade, which means our trades last anywhere from a few days to a few months, so we don't trade quite as often as a day trading room does. However, if you are looking for day trading, as well as individual stocks, you need to check out PT's Throne Room. In there, you get everything you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as individual stocks, day trading, and PT's reduced risk binary method that absolutely crushes the market. It's very unique. You kind of have to see it to fully understand it and believe it. And that's why we give you that 7-day free trial so you can get in there and understand it completely. He also built a challenge account where he put $4,000 into an account and is trading mini ES futures, where he's showing you disciplined trading methodology to build a small account into a large retirement or savings account. He's averaging 3 to 4% gains per week in that account, and we would love to have you guys come on in so we can make some money together. All right, guys, key takeaways for today. We're going to see if we can get this bounce up. We're looking for either a shallow bounce in wave 4 up towards that 39.67 to 39.89 area, and then a move down in wave 5 that would complete wave 1 down. A bigger bounce up toward the 39.95 to 40.48 region, and then start lower would be wave 2 up, and then we would start 3 down and 4 and 5 on down to that 3,700 area. And an impulsive move that takes out 40.48, and then eventually this high would be the bullish option. But again, I'm very skeptical on that given that we broke the 764 and the depth of this initial pullback. So we will see what the market gives us in this bounce. For the Nasdaq, same information. We are looking for bounces. The key levels for the wave 4 bounce would be 12.090 to 12.176. If it holds below that and makes a new low, that would be considered 4 and 5 to complete wave 1. Then we'd look for that wave 2 bounce. However, if this is the bottom of wave 1 and we're looking at that wave 2 bounce, you'd see a bigger bounce up towards the 12.203 to 12.410 area, closer to this 12.410 area, I would believe. And from there, then you would see waves 3, 4, and 5 down towards that 11,500 region. If it's going to be a bullish move, we would expect a strong impulsive move to take out 12.410 and then eventually this high. All right, guys, that is the market update for today. I will talk to you tomorrow.